Don't miss the Green and Growing Show in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Eagle TV. Ellis County Horticulture Agent Holly Dickman will identify common lawn and garden issues while providing up-to-date information. Watch weekdays in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Channel 14 or 614. Green and Growing, brought to you by Riedel's Garden Center, a full-service garden center west of Hayes on Highway 40, and Eagle TV.
With our current weather conditions, it takes a real expert to create landscape that'll thrive. Riedel's Garden Center has the staff with the expertise of water requirements for plants, lawns, and landscapes that'll stand up to our changing weather conditions. With 25 years of hands-on experience, owner Darren Riedel will customize a landscape design and irrigation system to meet your expectations and our climate. It's recommended to protect your lawn using Fertilome products available at Riedel's Garden Center, an authorized dealer. Call or stop by Riedel's Garden Center today.
Well, we are in the middle of the growing season, and as usual, we have lots of pest problems to deal with throughout the year. And one of the most common pests in Kansas, and certainly one that I get lots of phone calls about throughout the years, is spider mites. And so I'm standing here amongst some shrub roses, which are very common in Hayes landscapes and area landscapes. And I've mentioned earlier that it's really important to scout your landscape, scout your garden for issues, and this is no exception. You need to be out there really looking things over. And a lot of times you can catch things early, which is a very good thing if you have spider mites. So here on these shrub roses, I did find some spider mites. These are little teeny tiny things that are hard to see with the naked eye. But a lot of times you'll find them on the undersides of the leaves. And what they do is they suck the juices out of the leaf. So it'll cause a stippling pattern on top of the leaf. And right now it's just barely getting started, but you can kind of see a faint stippling pattern. Eventually that will turn kind of a bronzy brown, and it just gets kind of dry and crispy. So you want to make sure to be out there looking at things and see if you can find spider mites. If you're not quite sure if that's what it is, another simple thing that you can do is to take a white piece of paper, put it underneath the branch or the stem or whatever you're trying to test, and go ahead and just shake it over that white piece of paper. And if you see little dots moving around on the paper, then that's a pretty good indication you might have spider mites, especially when it's coupled with symptoms like I'm showing you here. Now I always get the question, well, what do you do for those? And spider mites are not insects, they're mites. So they're arachnids, they're not in the insect group of pests. So insecticides that we use in our gardens commonly, like Sevin and permethrin, will not work on spider mites. So you want to make sure that you have a product that is actually labeled for 2-spotted spider mite. A lot of times they're labeled as miticides. But generally speaking, for homeowners, what we recommend, or what K-State Research and Extension recommends, is that if they're not too severe, you can just blast them off the plant with a strong spray of water from your garden hose. If they've gotten to the point where they're pretty thick on the back side of the leaves, like this leaf here, then you probably want to go ahead and use an insecticidal soap or a horticultural oil. And those are both products that will take care of not only the adults, but also the eggs and the immatures. So you can get multiple coverage with that. Now they are on the undersides of the leaves, so you want to make sure when you're spraying or treating with something that you get the undersides of the leaves with your spray wand or whatever product you're using. That's really important. Now the other thing to consider is that one treatment for spider mites may not be effective. It may not completely control the problem. So you may have to go back after several days and retreat the area again. Again, just keep an eye on your plants in the landscape. Spider mites love hot, dry weather, and they can really attack just about any type of landscape plant, including your garden plants like tomatoes and cucumbers, as well as marigolds and other annual flowers and shrubs and even trees, but on trees they're not a big concern. If you have questions about how to control spider mites or other pests in your landscape, please contact your local K-State Research and Extension office. For K-State Research and Extension and Eagle TV, I'm Holly Dickman.
Don't miss the Green and Growing Show in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Eagle TV. Ellis County Horticulture Agent Holly Dickman will identify common lawn and garden issues while providing up-to-date information. Watch weekdays in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Channel 14 or 614. Green and Growing, brought to you by Riedel's Garden Center, a full-service garden center west of Hayes on Highway 40, and Eagle TV.
With our current weather conditions, it takes a real expert to create landscape that'll thrive. Riedel's Garden Center has the staff with the expertise of water requirements for plants, lawns, and landscapes that'll stand up to our changing weather conditions. With 25 years of hands-on experience, owner Darren Riedel will customize a landscape design and irrigation system to meet your expectations and our climate. It's recommended to protect your lawn using Fertilome products available at Riedel's Garden Center, an authorized dealer. Call or stop by Riedel's Garden Center today.